In this lesson, we'll look at some of the more advanced features of Splunk alerts. Splunk provides tokens that can be used to insert useful information into your alert messages. The search metadata tokens are especially useful. Here are a couple of examples. The name token will insert the name of the alert itself. Alert.severity will give you the severity level. Results_link will give you a link to the search results. The metadata tokens are useful for providing information about the alert, but they are limited in that they don't give you insight into the cause of the alert. The result token allows you to insert results directly from your search, and it uses the first search result. This is important to realize because if you're using these tokens, you should structure your searches to ensure that they're narrow enough that the top result will have the information you need. Result.host will give you the host name of that first search result, and result.source will tell you the source. var log syslog, for example. Result.fieldName will give you any field you select from the first search result. So you'd put in the field as field name there. Here's where these tokens are really powerful because the result token can actually use any field name that's included in the first result. Remember when we used the rex command to generate new fields? You can actually pass those through to your alert. You can also use a command called eval to do math within your search query. So you could do things like calculate averages and output the result as a field that's then included in an alert. Let's try this out by adding some tokens to the alert we just created. Let's open that alert we created in the last lesson. We'll click on Search and Reporting, and then Alerts. And here's our alert. So we can go to Edit, Edit Alert. So the first thing we'll do is scroll down to the bottom and select Add Actions, and then Log Event. The log event alert type will just make an entry into Splunk's index of a new event, just like any log entry. And the event will actually just be the text that we provide about our alert. So it's a way that we can look at the alerts without sending an email or triggering some external service. So for the text of our alert event, let's say 404s, and then let's use some tokens. We can say results_link, and then let's also include the host name. So we'll say result.host, and that just gives us that first search result. So that's probably all we need to do for the actual alert. Let's go down to the bottom here and just remove this send email, since that won't do anything. And before we save this, let's go up to the top here. And just to make sure that it's actually going to trigger, we'll say if the number of results is greater than 1 in a minute. So that should trigger every minute. There's at least one 404 error in our logs every minute. And we don't need to worry about this spamming our logs because we have this trigger suppression set up. So it'll suppress for 60 seconds. So at most we'll get one new log entry a minute from this. So click Save, and then Done. And we'll go over to Search. Let's just search for star. We'll see what we can see of this event. And we'll change the time to just the last 15 minutes. And say search. So here we've got our log events. And let's go over to source. You can see our alert has already added one entry to our log. So let's open that up. So here's our alert event, and we have to kind of imagine that this is the equivalent of what you might see in an email if this alert triggered and emailed you, or in a page in PagerDuty or something like that. You'd see 404s and then a link here to the alert. So let's open that up in a new tab. So if this were a real alert, you'd imagine that situation. You get this page, it says there's an emergency number of 404s, you click the link, and then you can immediately see the actual search results. This could be especially useful to narrow down if this is just a bot trying to scan your website, or if a lot of different users from different IPs are hitting the same issue. This is a fairly trivial example of using tokens in alerts. Tokens are really flexible and powerful, and as you learn more about search and expand your skills with Splunk, you'll find that you can do some really amazing things with them.